If you take any lesson away from this course, I hope it's this, and that is that money converges to one. There will not be hundreds or thousands of different forms of money in the digital age. There will only be one. Now, this is critical to understand because saving in an inferior money means destroying your purchasing power over time. Let's explore. A helpful analogy here is language. Now, let's say I only speak English and I can only communicate with others who also speak English because we need a common language. Now, I want to be part of the most widely spoken language because I'm then able to communicate with the most number of people, and the greatest amount of knowledge and information will accrue to that language network. And if I don't know that language, I'm going to be incentivized to learn it. The same holds true with money and potential trading partners. It's in my own interest to be part of the largest trading network with the most participants, specializing in the most things. This gives me the largest range of choice in goods and services and at the most competitive prices. And this is dependent on using the most widely accepted form of money. Now, the same logic holds true for countries themselves engaging in international trade, which is why we can expect a single global reserve currency to emerge, whether officially or unofficially, as the friction of global trade is greatly reduced with a single common currency. Now, global reserve currencies have certainly changed over time. This is largely a reflection of changes in global power status. Here is a chart I've overlaid that I took from Bridgewater Associates that maps the power of an empire across a number of key metrics over time and charts it relative to other empires. As you can see, the peak in relative global power in many cases coincides with that particular empire holding the dominant global currency. That is the currency that other countries wish to hold and trade in. Now, in the last 200 years, this power has largely been derived from being the dominant producer of a particular energy commodity. For the UK, that was coal, and for the US, it's been oil. But getting back to money, so if it converges to one, why do we have so many different forms of money? Well, technically, fiat isn't money itself, it's a currency, and currencies are representations of money. So think of a paper note being backed and freely redeemable for a fixed quantity of some commodity. Well, those ties have well and truly been severed. Those days are over. We're left with purely fiat currencies that have no backing and are not freely redeemable for anything other than what it can purchase on the market at any given point in time. So government issued fiat differs between regions because sufficient barriers exist between them. The barriers that enable these monetary monopolies, if you will, are facilitated by a few things. Firstly, very obvious, physical borders. And that kind of plays into the next point, which is being able to control flows in and out in terms of capital, so enforcing capital controls. The final one being legal tender laws, being able to essentially force a form of money on a population and to demand tax payments in that particular money as well. So we now come to the same version of our barter problem from earlier on, but this time it's with the currencies themselves, and will once again need to converge on a single monetary medium, which is where a global reserve currency comes in. Now, while the US dollar has dominated the post-war era for a number of reasons, the rules of the game are changing. That change is coming because of innovation in communication. More specifically, we now have a digital global communications network, i.e. the internet, that is obsoleting physical borders and creating a single global market. Most importantly, individuals now possess both hardware and software that enables communication at a peer-to-peer level. So, what might the chosen medium to bridge this gap in the digital age be? Well, we'll explore this question later in the course.